Got Mark 76 this week.
1990.
Could it be the moonsault? Arn back to his feet. Muta leaps, misses with a double axe handle. Arn hits Muta from behind. Spinebuster nails Muta. Goes for the cover. Will we have a new champion? 1, 2, and yes! Hello fans and welcome to another exciting edition of Got Mark 76 this week 1990. We have a great show lined up for you today. As you saw at the top of the hour, Arn Anderson defeated the Great Muta to win the NWA World TV title last night during the Power Hour. Our main event tonight will see Nature Boy Ric Flair go one-on-one with beautiful Bobby Eaton of the Midnight Express as Cactus Jack in the ring against the Italian Stallion spikes him with a pile driver. And also, Arn Anderson will be in action against Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer as Cactus Jack with a faceplant DDT on the Italian Stallion. And that's it. The referee counts, but it's all over now as Cactus Jack with a victory over the Italian Stallion here on World Championship Wrestling. There's that faceplant DDT, and Cactus Jack not getting paid by the hour, making short work of the Italian Stallion. And Cactus having his way with the fans here. And wait a second, Cactus eyeing the Italian Stallion on the outside. And Cactus leaps off the apron and is attacking the Italian Stallion on the concrete. We need to get some help out here. A bridge suplex on the concrete floor. Cactus picking up the Italian Stallion, setting him up. No! A power driver on the concrete. Oh, and spikes him down. We gotta get order here. Fans, we have Teddy Long and Mean Mark coming up next. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this quick timeout. So there are words from Theodore R. Long as the newest skyscraper, Mean Mark, with a big kick on Lee Scott. And I'm not sure I understand what is in it for Teddy Long to anger Sid Vicious. Sid Vicious will be back. He's out with an injury. But I guess you can talk tough when you have a big man like this, Mean Mark Callous, doing your dirty work for you as he and Dangerous Dan Spivey now form the Skyscrapers, and Mean Mark with a hard punch takes down Lee Scott, and you can count to 50. Lee Scott not getting up from this, and an impressive victory here on World Championship Wrestling for Mean Mark Callous, the newest member of the Skyscrapers. I barely had any chance to refer to my notes, as here's Mean Mark knocking out Lee Scott with a hard punch. And that was all she wrote. Fans, Arn Anderson, the new NWA World Television title. He won that title last night during the Power Hour. He's in action next in a non-title match against Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. We'll be right back. And welcome back to World Championship Wrestling as Buzz Sawyer goes one-on-one with Arn Anderson, the new NWA World Television Champion. And these two men, of course, no strangers to each other. Gary Hart International involved in a very deep feud with the Four Horsemen as Arn Anderson draped across the top rope and Buzz Sawyer in control. Arn Anderson fighting back with kicks and punches has Buzz Sawyer set up. And throws Sawyer hard, and up and over the top rope goes Buzz Sawyer. This feud between Gary Hart International and the Four Horsemen has become very personal. So much so that when they do battle in the first week of February at the Clash of the Champions Texas Shootout coming your way from Corpus Christi, Texas, the loser of that match, it will be a steel cage match, all 6 men in the ring at the same time. The loser of that match will be forced to break up. So Arn Anderson and Ole Anderson just returned to the NWA a short while ago. How odd would it be that they return to the NWA, they reform the Four Horsemen with Ric Flair and Sting, and then the Four Horsemen have to break up. On the same token, Gary Hart International growing stronger day by day as Gary Hart is in talks with Cowboy Bob Orton about joining the group as Arn Anderson on top for a count of 1. I mean, there are many members. Dick Slater, we haven't seen much of him in recent weeks, but Dick Slater is aligned with Gary Hart International. Cowboy Bob Orton, we just mentioned. Buzz Sawyer, the Great Muta, the Dragon Master, as Arn Anderson goes for the cover on top of Buzz. 1, and a kick out at 1 by Buzz. Our main event tonight, of course, fellow Horseman member and World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair goes one-on-one with one half of the Midnight Express, Beautiful Bobby, as Arn Anderson with a stomp to the face of Buzz Sawyer. These 2 men, known as being the enforcers for their group, as a big forearm smash by Buzz Sawyer takes Arn Anderson down. Buzz Sawyer is a smash mouth kind of guy. He goes for the cover on Arn. 1, 2, and oh, barely a kick out by Arn. Now this is a non-title matchup, but Arn Anderson still does not want the momentum going to Gary Hart International heading into the Clash of the Champions. And a slingshot back goes Arn, and Buzz Sawyer staying on top. Buzz Sawyer, many people will say, not right in the head as he nails a DDT, but only on the top rope, or excuse me, the apron, distracting the referee as Buzz goes for the cover. And Ole Anderson using a little bit of the Horseman strategy to distract the referee. Buzz Sawyer setting up Arn, but Anderson with a big right hand nails Buzz Sawyer, throws him into the ropes. And a big elbow blocked by Buzz. Oh, and a leaping neck breaker by Buzz Sawyer. And Buzz Sawyer not going for the pinfall, wants to inflict more punishment on the enforcer Arn Anderson. And now his submission maneuver is Arn trying to position his body, and does. Ooh, had Buzz there in a pinning predicament, did not hold the count down. Oh, but Buzz nails a big right hand. Goes for the cover again. Referee counts 1, 2, throw, kick out again. Nearly a pinfall by the Mad Dog. And again, Buzz Sawyer tying up Arn Anderson like a pretzel, a submission maneuver. Arn was able to escape the first time. Let's see if Arn, and he does. He gets out the second time as well. And these 2 men back to square one. Ooh, and a kick to the thigh by Buzz Sawyer. But Arn meets an elbow, takes Buzz Sawyer down. Oh, and now an old-fashioned knee to the head. And Double-A Arn Anderson back in control. The World Television Champion, stomping on the face of Buzz Sawyer. Drops an elbow across the head. And a big fist by Arn Anderson throws Sawyer into the ropes. Ooh, and a stalemate. But Arn has Buzz Sawyer up in a suplex. And face first down to the mat goes Buzz Sawyer. Arn back in control. Setting him up in a spine buster. That's the maneuver that won Arn the TV title just the other night. Goes for the cover on Mad Dog. 1, 2, and 3. No! Mad Dog kicked out. There was a bit of hesitation on the part of Arn Anderson as he had nailed the spine buster, but was recovering from the maneuver with an inside cradle. Has Sawyer pinned. 1, 2, 3. No! A kick out by Buzz. And Arn Anderson may be starting to question what he has to do to put away Buzz Sawyer, but like I mentioned, Buzz Sawyer is not right in the head. This guy, oh, and there's another DDT on Arn. Will Gary Hart International have the momentum heading into the Clash of the Champions? And again, Ole up on the apron as Buzz goes for the cover, distracting the referee. And the Horsemen using old strategy from the past to get the advantage over Gary Hart International. Arn throws Sawyer into the turnbuckle, charges, misses with a knee. Sawyer charges, but walks right into another spine buster. No hesitation this time. Arn on top. 1, 2, 3. And your winner, Arn Anderson. And a back and forth match as they head to a 6-man tag team match inside of a steel cage at Clash of the Champions Texas Shootout. Here are some highlights from earlier in the contest. And Arn Anderson, the brand new NWA World Television Champion, victorious here on World Championship Wrestling against Buzz Sawyer. And I thought it was over there with a DDT, but Ole Anderson jumped on the apron, distracting the referee when Buzz Sawyer was going for the cover. And the Horsemen using old tricks. Fans, we'll be right back. We have a word from Woman coming up next. You don't want to miss. And fans, welcome back to World Championship Wrestling. It is our main event as the World Heavyweight Champion Nature Boy Ric Flair takes on Beautiful Bobby. And how about those comments from Woman wanting to manage or work some kind of business relationship with the World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair, saying that 1990 will be the year of Woman. I really don't know what else to say about that. Woman making overtures to Ric Flair, who finds himself on the receiving end of an early attack by Beautiful Bobby, but Flair grabbing the leg and working over the leg of Beautiful Bobby. Of course, Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen find themselves in that feud with Gary Hart International. That will basically culminate at the Clash of the Champions Texas Shootout inside of a steel cage. All 6 men will be in the ring at the same time. A Thunderdome cage match. The loser of the match must break up. So it will either be the end of Gary Hart International or the end of the Four Horsemen. As Flair with a knee to the back of Beautiful Bobby. Oh, a charging forearm by Bobby takes down Flair as Jim Cornette looks on in approval in the background. And now a side headlock by Beautiful Bobby, trying to wear down the World Heavyweight Champion. And next week, a big announcement on the new #1 contender to the World Heavyweight title. We know the fact, the NWA Championship Committee wants to give Sting a title match after his performance at Starrcade. But next week we will officially find out who the next challenger for Ric Flair's world title will be. As a shoulder block takes down Beautiful Bobby and Jim Cornette up on the apron having words with the World Heavyweight Champ. This is a non-title matchup. And one would think that the match would favor the Nature Boy Ric Flair, who's a singles competitor, the World Heavyweight Champion 5 times. Excuse me, 6 times, World Heavyweight Champion, 6 times. And Beautiful Bobby, known for his tag team of the Midnight Express, he is one half of the former World Tag Team Champions, the only tag team in professional wrestling to hold both the NWA World Tag Team Championship and the US Tag Team Championship at the same time. And of course, speaking of the US Tag Team Championship, that tournament starts in 2 weeks' time here on World Championship Wrestling. The first round matchup will have the Midnight Express taking on, well, foes of theirs for many years, the Rock and Roll Express. We will have the brackets for the US Tag Team Championship next week here on World Championship Wrestling as Bobby Eaton in control picks up the Nature Boy. And a belly-to-belly suplex, down goes Flair. Missing with a kick. And now Flair has Bobby, throws him into the turnbuckle. And working the arm of Beautiful Bobby is Ric Flair as he's tying that arm around the top rope. Fans, that is just cable wrapped in duct tape. So steel cable does not... Well, Flair setting up Bobby. Could it be the figure 4 and going for the figure 4, blocked by Eaton? And that steel cable not merciful, but now Bobby Eaton climbing the top rope has Flair lined up, and he drops the Alabama Jam. Oh, this could be a huge upset. Bobby goes for the cover. Referee in position. 2, and no, Flair barely kicks out. Oh, that was 2 3/4. And Bobby going back to work on Flair. Has Flair in a camel clutch. Well, I thought that was it. Bobby Eaton nailed the Alabama Jam from the top rope. And Flair kicked out at the last possible moment. I mean, less than a second. It was 2 3/4. And Flair works his way out of the camel clutch and now going to work again on the leg of Beautiful Bobby. A back and forth contest here in our main event. And we thank you for tuning in. As Flair working the arm now of Beautiful Bobby. That's what the Horsemen do. They pick a body part and they work on it. Flair has been spending much of his offense working the leg of Beautiful Bobby as he sweeps Beautiful Bobby down to the mat, and now a choke. Flair has a count of 5 to break the maneuver and does. And Ric Flair, of course, known as being the dirtiest player in the game, and that goes whether he's cheered by the fans or not, as Flair lines up Beautiful Bobby and drops the knee across the forehead. That usually means that the figure 4 is coming. As Cornette's having words with the referee, Flair takes down Beautiful Bobby. Spins, grabs the leg and locks it in. The figure 4 leg lock in the middle of the ring. Can Beautiful Bobby escape? Bobby. He taps. And your winner, Nature Boy Ric Flair. What a back and forth match this was, as the Nature Boy Ric Flair wins with a figure 4 leg lock. Let's take a look at earlier in the contest. Beautiful Bobby holding his own in singles competition against the World Heavyweight Champion. And there's the Alabama Jam. I thought it was all over. He went for the cover, and Flair kicked out at the last possible second. There's a 1, 2, hand coming down and barely escaping was Flair. Flair nailed, of course, that patented knee drop right there. Locked in the figure 4. And Bobby was trying to turn him over. And I think Cornette knew right there that Bobby was not going to be able to turn it over. And Bobby Eaton forced to tap out. Your winner, the World Heavyweight Champion Nature Boy Ric Flair, who 1 week from now will find out his new #1 contender to the World Heavyweight title. Fans, we thank you very much for tuning in to Got Mark 76 this week, 1990. We will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.